Welcome to your first exercise. I want to make it clear from the start, you have to work with me. You've got to stay active, post your work and interact with the rest of the community. This is how you'll get the most out of this course. So let's start. This PSD is attached to this lecture, but you can also find it in that big archive I mentioned at the beginning of the course. Open it up by double-clicking it. If you see any errors of any kind, just skip them. Your goal is to assemble 3 mini websites. To be able to solve this, I'm going to show you a few techniques and then I'm going to let you have fun with it. Please do your best to enjoy the experience, even though you may struggle at times. This is a challenge. It's sort of an initiation ritual, if you will. It's going to be hard and nerve-wracking if you don't approach it with the right mindset. I'll explain everything in depth as we move forward, but I want you to get a taste of what we're going to do in this course. Your Photoshop interface is probably going to look different to what you see on the screen, but there are only a few things you need to keep in mind. First, looking at the top left side, you need to disable this feature called Auto Select. Just click here to uncheck it. If you don't see it, make sure you have this first tool selected. Next to it, in this drop-down, you need to have this set to Layer. This will help us easily select all these components from the project. Finally, you'll need to watch the Layers panel. It's this long thing here, but you can also identify it by going to the top of Photoshop. Hit Window. From this list, choose Layers. If it was already opened and you clicked it, now it went away. But you can press F7 and that also enables or disables it. Okay, so this is the Layers panel. Now, here's how this goes. You need to make decisions about what goes well together. You need to ask yourself, what's the best looking combination? To be able to answer, you'll have to test things out. You'll rely on one tool, the Move tool, which is the very first one in this left toolbar. Click it and forget about it. Now, every time you want to select an element, you hold the Control or the Command key on a Mac and click it. Start with something simple like one of these colored buttons. Once you click it, you can then move it over one of these images. Which one? That's the exercise. It's up to you to decide if this goes here, here, or here. You can place it just about anywhere, but there are certain combinations that work better than others. Going back to selecting items, you may end up with this problem. You Control-click and you expect that button to be selected, but when you want to move it, you get this error. This means you didn't actually select it. That's because some elements have transparent parts. For example, this Find Out More button. This is empty in this region, so you have to accurately click on an area that's filled. Here's a workaround for that. Hit OK. Hold Control or Command, click and drag outside any element. Now you'll get this box. Anything inside it will be selected. Now, as you can see, I got the button without any errors and I can move without problems. Please note that you don't have to get the entire element inside the box. You can include only a small part of it and you'll still be able to pick it up. There you go, that's it. And just in case that error shows up constantly, go to the Layers panel and click on any random layer. Now go back here and start clicking and dragging. Another issue you may encounter is this. You want to grab an element that's overlapping with another one. Obviously, if you use the box technique, that's going to grab several items. What's the easiest way of handling this situation? Well, look at your Layers panel and check how many items you have highlighted. This means they're selected. In this case, say you only want to move the logo. Well, to get rid of those other two, simply click on the one you want to keep. Easy stuff. That automatically deselects the other ones. Now you can move it all by itself. Here are a few other tips. To move around from side to side, up or down, just hold the spacebar key. Your cursor will transform into a hand, and now you can click, hold, and move around. Great! As long as you hold the spacebar, you can pan around any project. Your zoom level should always be at 100%. To make sure you're there, just double-click this magnifying glass. Here it is at the bottom of this Tools panel. Let me zoom in so you can see it in action. Okay, here it is. That was a simple double-click. This is how you should work. Okay, let's recap and then I'll leave you to it. You're supposed to pick up elements from this part of the project and assemble them over on this side. Mix and match them until you're happy. So drag one logo and place it where you see fit. Then grab a main menu and position it over one of your images. It's totally fine to change your mind at any point. If you don't like how it looks, just change things up. You don't have to follow any particular order, though I suggest a top-to-bottom approach, nor do you have to use all these items. For example, I added extra buttons just to throw you off your game. Some of these should not be used. Can you tell which of them are not right? That's another challenge right there. The same goes for this body text region. You need 3 mini websites, but I actually included 9 text layers. Figure out which 3 go best with your designs. Now I'm going to jump ahead and I'll show you how to share your work so you can get feedback. Let's just say you're done and this is your design. Mind you, I randomly threw things together because I don't want you to get inspired in any way. But say this is looking good to you, now you need to share it with me and our community. Here's how you do that. Make sure you've used the spacebar to position yourself in a good spot. Now go to the top left, hold Ctrl or Command and draw a box that will grab all these items. The objective is to get every single item that's inside one of your designs. Now use the following hotkey, Ctrl-G. This means you've just grouped everything together and you should see a folder inside your Layers panel. Have a look and find it. Once you see it, right-click it and choose Export as PNG. You may see JPEG on your end, that's fine as well. Save it anywhere you'd like and you're just about done. Now, all that's left for you is to upload it to the platform. This is pretty easy to do. You need to hover over this lecture and find the Q&A button. Afterwards, you'll get a form that will allow you to insert images. This is pretty standard stuff, so I won't dwell on it. If you want to write a few words, by all means, go for it. And that's it. Use Ctrl-S if you want to save your progress, and then you can close Photoshop. If you want to redo the exercise, download the file again. Please stop the video right now because in the very next lecture I'll show you how I'd approach this exercise. But please stop the course and do it now. If you watch me solve it, you'll ruin all the fun. You'll need anywhere from 15 to 60 minutes for the exercise. So pause right now, download and open the PSD and rewind this lecture from the top. Go for it.